Hi, everyone. This is Sarah Ayers, Business Incubation Program Coordinator at Innovate Springfield, and I'm back with even more iSPI hacks. I can't tell you how excited I am. So iSPI Hacks has been a great opportunity for Innovate Springfield to showcase the experts in our network, our members, and our stakeholders to give you sort of sneak peeks of the work that they're doing and some pro tips to help you apply them to your work. And it's intended to be a short, quick burst of information so you can get your learn on when you want, where you want, without the Zoom life. So I'm really excited to welcome Chad Grau today. He is an email marketing expert, I'm not gonna lie, and he is gonna talk to you in this video about personalization and going beyond the hi, Sarah, in your email intro. So I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen and pass the mic over to Chad.
Perfect. All right, well, let me pull this up here real quick and we will get started. Glad to be able to receive the invite. Seen everything on your end, Sarah?
Yep, looks great. Thanks.
Okay, so I just have these Google slides here, just a few of them, because I just really expect this to be, and by all means, Sarah, hop in, ask any questions that you have, and kind of a dialogue, and hopefully this will be something that you have some take-home, whoever's watching, get some take-home points from. So again, thanks for the invitation, and we'll dive in. There's actually a handful in this series of iSPI hacks related to email, and really it's on a grander scale, just about loyalty. So I personally currently work in e-commerce, mostly with farms that sell direct to consumer. And so what I've been doing the last 3.5 years is working with them using tools like email to really help them build a loyalty focused business. So we'll kind of dive into some of the, the plays we have in the playbook there, and just some of the rationale we have for executing those plays. So as I have here in my title here, personalization is currently much more than hi, Peter, in an email. Right? So that's the title here. And I want to kind of go through, there we go. I want to go through this, but first I want to make just a little bit of an argument for not using first name, and maybe when I've used people's first name. So it's really cool back when email marketing automation kind of started in the early 2000s, I think, where you could like pull in merge fields from, information you had about people to greet them with their name. Okay, pretty cool. That being said, personalization now is there's so many more opportunities as the tools have advanced and people have gotten, smarter to realize that it's just pulling in a merge field. Like they know people are sending mass emails to potentially thousands of people. Every Sunday, one of my clients, we send over 80,000 people. So, how just keeping that in mind, it's people kind of know the game now, right? But the downside is that people aren't really committal with their real information when they are putting in, if you ever downloaded a lead magnet or a resource or a guide or something from a website, you're not exactly super careful that you put your first name in, or that you spell it correctly, or maybe you just put in you fill it out incorrectly. So in this example here, that actually becomes a detriment. If I'm trying to be personal and create a relationship with somebody, every time I get an email, I'm reminded that it's very impersonal and that they don't know who I am. So, maybe you do all caps, and it's the rest of the email is, proper cased, or you put your email address in, or you put test, or whatever other word you fill in there, or you don't put your name and then it's just a blank, or you misspell your name, or you put your full name. So there's just a lot of different things here. And I think it's just the point of, I don't believe just using name dramatically increases the conversion rate or buy-in for somebody that I feel like these people really know me. There are better ways. So just that caveat. Now, I would say that when I typically start to when I consider using first name is when somebody puts in their credit card. Like, we don't put your name in wrong when asked for your credit card, your name with credit card, right? So, and it's typically first name and last name, not full name. So, oftentimes anyhow. So that's if I'm going to use it, that's when I may use it. And if I'm truly sending a one-off email where I'm pulling up my email client and I'm putting in someone's email address and I'm sending them an email, 100% of the time, 100 out of 100 times, I would greet them. So the intent is good, but we just want to be careful because it's not that big of a converting thing to personalize in an email. Okay. Now, I alluded to the fact that there are certainly many more opportunities to be personal in an email. So one of the things that we can do when we're communicating is just identify and communicate and confirm when you're in your email copy, just based on what the behavior that someone has taken. So did they just download something? On your confirmation email, you can acknowledge that. Thank you for downloading this, XYZ document. Here's what you can expect out of it. I look forward to your, hearing how you, get personal wins out of it. So you give them some hope. You're setting an expectation. It's going to be helpful. That's one idea or one way. If somebody has made their first purchase, acknowledge that and continue to acknowledge that. If that's something that you track, that's one way that we segment people. We want to know where they're at in their customer journey, where they're at in our funnel. So we acknowledge that if somebody's a loyal customer, like we acknowledge, thank you for being a supporter of what we do. We appreciate it, and things like that. So just basing it on behavior. Okay. Those are just a few examples. As far as getting to a little bit more specificity in the point in the customer journey, I want to, so we kind of how we break things down are somebody can just be on your email list. And again, I specifically work in e-commerce, right? So however this applies to you, it's worth considering, okay? There will be a customer journey for whatever business you have, right? There's different levels that people can ascend to. But for us, they're just on the email list. Maybe they downloaded a resource. They just want to learn something. Maybe then a better step is that they went through the process of creating an account. And they put their information in, told us where they live. There's more, we have more information. So there's more personalizations we can do. And then the next step that is they become a first-time buyer. And then we don't just lump all buyers into one category. We want to know when they're a first-time buyer, and then we would want to know when they're a repeat buyer, because there are different pitches that we can make depending on where people are at in the customer journey. And it's a personal recommendation. It's not blasting out the same recommendation to all people on their subscriber list. It's different. And last but not least, we have a loyalty audience where this is like the best of the best, like the 5% of the customers who generate 50% of the revenue, or whatever that number is for your company, and knowing that. So again, communicating based on customer journey. And then again, and then pitching people on what their next step is. All I want a subscriber, I don't necessarily, yes, I would want a subscriber on my email list to make a purchase, but maybe it's a softer step just to get them to create an account so we know more information about them. So then we can make an even better pitch to them that's more appropriate for who they are. So that's one way you can personalize your emails and your recommendations based upon customer journey. You can also, based upon the segment that they're in. Okay, so if they have a certain fulfillment type, if they pick up at your store, if you deliver to them via a courier, if you deliver to them via FedEx, if they live multiple states away, being able to identify if they have a deadline to order, for example, or a deadline to buy a digital product or to enter into a consulting agreement with you, then just knowing that and being aware of that. If you have your retainer clients, if you have a services-based business, probably should have those folks segmented so you talk to them differently. Maybe they have better perks because they're a paying former active project customer with you. Now they're a retainer client. And then just a few more to kind of wrap up this iSPI hack are when you be talking about personalizing emails, it's not only using technology to be more savvy about how you find and connect with people, but just act like a human. Talk like who you are. People don't necessarily want to buy from big brands. They're more likely to buy from the people behind the brand. So who are you? Introduce yourself. Leave a picture of yourself. Talk about what's briefly, include what's going on with your family. Did your family grow? Did you take a quick little trip? What's the weather like where you are? Like as you sit down to write the email, just communicate that. Hey, good morning from wherever. Good morning from Springfield. It's a beautiful day. I'm reaching out to you today. It's more real than just getting a blasted e-commerce letter that is just buy products. So sending a one-off appearing message from an actual person like those are highly effective. And then related to that, invite a dialogue, invite a response. There's actually a lot of benefits to this. Dialogue is how I was at the Traffic and Conversion Conference a few years ago, and one of the things that Ryan Dice, who's with Digital Marketer, he said that has stuck with me, and I've read a few times since, is just that if you focus on the things that don't seem to scale, you're going to really scale your business. And he would argue, and I would argue, that conversations are a metric that you could and should be tracking, because they generally lead to sales, right? So conversations, having a dialogue is a good thing. You'll also learn about customer voice, right? You'll learn customer voice when customers respond, which then you can use on your web page to get more conversions, or in the emails that you're writing in the future. If you know customer voice, even if you don't get a sale, you're going to learn something. And little final ninja tactic is that you want people responding to your emails. That's really good from an email metric standpoint, from your email service provider. Know that, hey, people are engaging. It's not just splash, splash, splash. It's coming back. So those are some of the ways that you can get past, hey, hi, Peter. Here's the same message to everybody, to really dive in and be more personal with how you communicate.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Chad. I've got so many notes. And I think my favorite quote is act like a human. So I'm definitely going to remember that one.
Perfect.
Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next iSPI email hack with Chad. I know you can't wait. All right. See you soon.